Absolutely, we'll be recycling all batteries, and I think we'll be recycling batteries before the end of the decade. It is becoming regulated in Europe. It'll be compulsory. Recycling is not optional. If we're going to reduce the CO2 footprint of lithium cells and electric vehicles, and to have truly circular supply chains, we need to recycle now. And hence why we've developed the Primobius joint venture with German engineers SMS Group. So if I was to judge the impact, the environmental impact of lithium-ion battery cell manufacturing now, personally I would have had it at 5 had there not been some incumbent recycling, albeit that pyrometallurgical recycling is very, very inefficient and not future-proof. So I think, if you have a look at these cells at the end of the life, they aren't safe to put into a landfill. And specifically if you're trying to store these batteries, or indeed process batteries, they are a significant fire risk. CO2 is the elephant in the room as it pertains to the lithium-ion cell making and indeed the electric vehicle. So, it's not widely known that the electric vehicle has twice the carbon footprint of an internal combustion engine as soon as it rolls off the production line. And that really comes from the battery, and in terms of the battery, it comes from making the batteries out of traditional raw materials. All of these traditional battery materials have huge footprints. So if we can, we really want to have a circular, resilient supply chain, we have to recycle. So we can improve further the environmental impact of these lithium-ion battery cells. And so what we have to do is work to a very high recovery hydromet process. So stage 1 of our process is to shred and beneficiate. So we shred the batteries in an inert atmosphere in a liquid solution to make them suitable for processing. We physically remove the copper and the aluminium foils and the casings. That prepares a black mass. Stage 2 of our process is the hydrometallurgical refinery. So what we do is we put it into an acid solution and we solve and extract each of those base metals in a high purity sulfate form that can be used in the production of new cells. Recycling in Europe or in the West is pretty low. We estimate that it's well beneath 20% of materials that are actually recycled. Inside of China, they've recognised this much, much earlier, and they have built up a very strong domestic recycling industry. So the major component and the major driver of the exponential growth in lithium-ion cell making capacity is being driven by the EVs and the take-ups. And we're now seeing in Germany take-ups of more than 20%. In the UK, almost 20%. The governments are also using on the producers a sort of a carrot and a stick approach. What they're saying is, for every car, we will give you a subsidy to the buyers and we'll reduce the cost, so that'll stimulate demand. And also, if you don't meet the CO2 emissions for your fleet, there are significant penalties. I think what we're at the fore of is the most rapid exponential growth in lithium cell making history, and indeed of any industry that I've ever seen. So hydrometallurgical recycling is the future.